Red security strips along the passage faded to the ship's quiet mode. Regan padded through the command deck. His weight made the alloy underfoot hum. Every other night, his steps were a warning. An Alpha S presence. The young and the nervous cleared a path. Tonight, he moved like a hunter stalking his own thoughts. He exhaled, tasting recycled air, in a future he could not name yet. The Night Spear was built for raids. Narrow corridors. Sealed bulkheads. Corners made for ambush. It suited the Vishari. They were born with forward eyes and thick claws. Instincts that treated fear as a tool. Across 5 star lanes, their banners had flown. Long before humans learned to fold space safely, Regan earned those banners. He stood taller than most of his warband. Shoulders knotted with corded muscle beneath dark fur. His voice could shake a briefing chamber. His bite could crack a training blade. He commanded 2,000 warriors, and he carried a lineage the clan mothers praised in low tones. And he was late. Not to war. Not to patrol. Late to check on his cubs. A scent pulled him toward the guest quarters. Warm milk. Clean fabric. A faint hint of antiseptic. Human scent. Asterisk, don't miss the next episode. Subscribe to Neon Cub Tales. Like, share, and comment your favorite moment. It still felt wrong to his nose. Too soft. Too open. Yet it was the smell his cubs started seeking. On their own, when Regan ordered the arrangement, the ship reacted fast. An Alpha's offspring were not babysat. They were trained, hardened, taught to sleep light, taught to wake ready, taught that the only safe arms were pack arms. Humans were not pack. Humans were recent, unpredictable, and clever. But there were reasons. There were always reasons. Humans arrived late to the stars and acted like time was a personal insult. The first clash at the Helios Narrows should have ended fast. Vishari interceptors outnumbered the human escorts 4. The clan council expected surrender. Tribute, a clean entry in the conquest ledger instead. The humans fought like a species that bargained with extinction. They welded plates over ruptures while ships burned. They used disabled freighters as drifting shields. When guns overheated, they fired anyway. When barrels split, they kept going. Regan watched a human engineer brace a collapsing corridor. With their own body, long enough for strangers to crawl through, the engineer died. And the humans did not slow down. They got angrier. After 3 brutal weeks, nobody called them prey again. A treaty followed, uneasy, practical, signed. In the language of mutual losses, exchanges began. Observers, liaisons, someone, to translate gestures before they turned into funerals. That is how Mina Cade ended up on the Night Spear. 1 human. 1 small suitcase. In a file full of calm assessments. Civilian, no combat decorations. No confirmed kills. Yet the psych notes were unsettling. Exceptional composure. High empathic accuracy. Steady problem-solving under threat. Scouts said the human military offered her commissions more than once. Mina Cade declined them all, and signed up to live among predators instead. I'm better at keeping people from needing medals, she told Regan on her first day. Regan did not know what to do with that sentence. He still did not. He paused outside the designated room, claws hovering near the access plate. A low, familiar sound drifted through the door seam. Soft, rhythmic breathing. 2 breaths. Then a third, smaller one. The human's good. Sleep, not mischief. He keyed the panel. The seal released with a gentle sigh. Warm air rolled over him. Amber night lamps painted the room in honeyed shadows. The sleeping platform was low and wide. Layered with blankets, Mina Cade requested fabric, not woven mats. In the center, Mina Cade lay curled on her side. Hair spilled across the pillow like dark water. Her face was unguarded in sleep, too smooth, too fragile, and yet there she was, on a warship, breathing like she owned the darkness. Pressed against her were his cubs. Orin, his son, was tucked under her chin, 1 small paw across her collarbone. As if claiming territory, Tiny fangs showed at the corner of his mouth. He had been a biter since his eyes opened. Tonight his jaw was slacked with peace. Sela, his daughter, was tucked against Minacade's ribs. Tail looped loosely around the human's wrist. One ear flicked as she dreamed. Paws twitching and a chase only she could see. Minacade's arms held them without trapping them. One hand between Orrin's shoulder blades. Steady as a heartbeat. The other covered Sela's back. Fingers curved protectively. Ready to soothe. Ready to shield. Regan's chest tightened. With a feeling he did not have a clean word for, fury should have come first. Tradition demanded it. His cubs were not supposed to seek comfort in an outsider. Not supposed to sleep so deeply. Not supposed to rest without challenge. Weakness invited death. But the room did not smell of weakness. It smelled of safety. Ra-Egan assessed the scene, measured it, looked for threats. The cubs were positioned with equal closeness. No rivalry. No subtle competition for warmth. Minacade's posture formed a barrier. Between them and the open space, any intruder would cross her first, even asleep. Her breathing changed when Regan's shadow fell. A slow inhale. A controlled exhale, like a sentry noticing movement. Without reaching for a weapon, she was guarding them. Not with claws. Not with teeth. With attention, Regan remembered the first meeting. Orrin and Sela hissed and bristled. Tails puffed to look larger. Sela circled, eyes narrowed, testing angles. Orrin feinted, retreated, and lunged again. Pure bravado. Minacade sat on the floor, made herself smaller, placed her hands where they could see, and did nothing else. Minutes passed, then an hour, then two. Vishari pups were trained to read dominance. Minacade offered none. She offered patience, steady presence. No pressure. It was infuriating. It was effective. Orrin crept close enough to sniff her fingers. Minacade did not move. When Sela snapped and caught skin, drawing blood, Minacade only said softly, "Good, you checked." She did not punish. She did not flinch. She did not smell of fear. 3 days later, the cubs followed her through corridors, like she had grown a second tail. A week later, they sat at her feet during briefings, watching everyone with wide, suspicious eyes. 2 weeks later, they slept through engine shifts. For the first time since birth, Ra-Egan pretended not to notice. An alpha did not announce uncertainty. Now, watching 3 bodies breathe in shared rhythm, he understood what was happening. Humans had a weapon the Vishari never forged. Nurture as strategy. Minacade was not soft. She was not turning his cubs into pets. She was giving them what clan nurseries failed to provide. Certainty, rest, safety, protection without domination. Secure cubs did not become timid. Secure cubs became fearless. A quiet sound escaped Regan. Almost a growl. Almost a laugh. He swallowed it. He should leave. Let them sleep. But the alpha part of him, the part that measured the future and bloodlines, kept watching. Sela's tail tightened, then loosened. Minacade's fingers shifted in sleep, smoothing fur with unconscious care. Orrin pressed closer. Minacade adjusted without waking, giving him space to breathe. It was so practiced it looked like instinct. Maybe it was humans carried instincts too, if the galaxy ever understood that. It would stop underestimating them. You can shatter their hulls, outgun their marines. But what do you do with a people whose unarmed ones step into a predator's nest, make the nest feel like home? Regan stepped back, careful not to let the seal click loudly. The panel closed with a soft thrum. Sealing warmth inside in the corridor, nightlights pulsed like distant embers. Regan stood longer than any warrior would admit. Tail swaying in slow thought, tomorrow there would be drills, politics, patrol routes, and reports. Orrin would try to bite a technician. Sela would steal something shiny and hide it. Minacade would sigh, smile, and keep them alive in ways. The war manuals never mentioned Dot and Regan. Alpha of the Night Spear, breaker of sieges, hunter of the Helios Narrows, found the idea did not anger him. It steadied him. He turned toward his quarters at last. A faint curve to his mouth in the dim. Maybe that was the real danger of humanity. Not engines. Not weapons, but their refusal to treat tenderness as weakness. And the galaxy, sooner or later, would learn what Regan learned in that doorway. Care can be a kind of force. Asterisk.